Well, good morning, and this morning is all about the lullaby, which we're going to do from the initial book. The most difficult thing about this rather little attractive and pretty piece is the dotted crotchet that we have. Now, we've already seen the dotted minim. All of you know the dotted minim. And the dotted minim, we know, gets 3 counts. It's equal to 3 crotchets. So in other words, the dot adds half of whatever note it's attached to, because half of a minim is a crotchet. So therefore it's a minim plus a crotchet, 3 counts. Now a dotted crotchet is a crotchet, and half of a crotchet is a quaver. So therefore dotted crotchet is a crotchet plus a quaver. Now I've taught you before that when you got quavers, you always count 1 and. Now we're dividing the beat. So 1 and is a full crotchet. 1 and. If I played on the and, 1 and, those are quavers. So that's 2 quavers. So if I played 4 crotchets, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a whole bar of quavers in 4/4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the crotchet for half a count. 1 and 2 and. That is the dotted crotchet plus the quaver. So your first bar in lullaby would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. See? Then the bar with 2 dotted crotchets in, your third bar, and the whole of the second line virtually is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay? So that is probably the most difficult thing. This chair squeaks. And then I'm going to do the last line for you because everyone gets a bit confused there. It's only because you've got to hold notes. I'm going to play it through once and then we'll discuss other things. So I'm going to play and count. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you can see from the end of the second line, we get what is called a tied note. Remember, that's when one note, like an E, has a line or a slur to another E of the same pitch. So in the same pitch, you then tie that note together. So in other words, you play it for the first time, but you hold it for what it is tied to. In bar 8, it is tied to a dotted crotchet. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And in bar 9, 1 and 2, and then tied, 3 and 4. And now it's a semi-breve, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and tied to a dotted crotchet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so those are the tied notes. So I'm going to go from bar 8. So right hand plays at E but holds it. 1 and 2. Oh, I'm now doing the crotchets making quavers. Sorry. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now there's a few little signs here that we need to learn. The first is P, which we know means piano, so we're going to start this piece really soft. Then in the middle line we have mezzo forte, which is a little bit louder or moderately loud. And then we get a dim in the last line, which means to get gradually softer. We have a rit above the bar 10 there, which means to get gradually slower. And then above the last notes, there's a little funny looking sign, which is called a pause sign, which means you're just going to hold those notes until the sound disappears. And the whole idea of this is called a lullaby, which is something you sing to a baby to put a baby to sleep. So we don't want it fast. Right? No lullaby. We also don't want the left hand very heavy, because the left hand's not very interesting at all. So we want the left hand beautiful and light. Now a little louder and warmer. Very pretty little piece. Most difficult line is the second line, because the left hand, which has been doing this all the way through, does something different in the next bar here, which would be bar 7. Does the A, then the B, and then back to the C. So you've got to watch that a bit, see? And then shape it beautifully and really make this a very pretty little song that it is. Okay, hope that helped. Thanks.